Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Slimefun. That's right, it is back. Hopefully you guys heard, we are back on the server, and I decided we are going to go ahead, because of recent changes on the server, we're going to release the Diamond Farm video. That's right, guys. There was no plans on doing it anytime soon. It was going to be about 12 episodes down the line. I'm going to put an asterisk next to that while there is a diamond farm available and it works, I don't know why, but the androids in Slimefun are bugged, and I wanted video proof for the devs to prove what's actually going on with Slimefun. You see, there's been a lot of updates recently, and while it did fix a lot of major bugs, it also brought a few new. And one that's been in for months that still has not been addressed is androids turning into heads and stop functioning. So I'm going to take you through my build here, if I can remember to hit the F5 the right number of times. And we're going to start it, run it, and show you how it works. And then we're going to watch and see what happens, because the last time I set this up and ran it, every one of my androids turned into a head. So I am going to show this to you, though, because if you are on a server where it works, then we'll know what happened and that it's been altered on this server. If it happens to you on your server, then we'll know it's a dev issue that has to be addressed. So here's what we've done. In the middle of this farm, we've added a new toy. On the server that we play on, we used to be able to dispense bone meal. However, because so many people were creating diamond farms and running 24, 36, 48 dispensers at a time, and just AFKing at it, we probably had 400 dispensers firing bone meal 24/7. It was causing a lot of lag on the server, and I totally understand that feature being disabled. It made sense for the health of the server. It was not foreseen that that would happen or could happen, at least not initially, and so it was the right thing to do. Having said that, everybody said, well, diamond farms are dead. I said, no, they're not, and I've proven it. Just to give you an idea, even when this farm was running, I only lost about 40% capacity of diamonds. For those of you that know, I was producing over 4,000 diamonds a day. So this is possible, and that's with the new addition. I did a video on the Tree Growth Accelerator, being a new feature in Slimefun, and realized that it did have a lot of potential uses, but also was very costly and very expensive, not only to run, but to maintain. You know, it took a lot to go into it. If you didn't already have a cobblestone farm running, and ore grinders going, and gold pans, and dust farm, the dust washers, and then you were converting it in tin dust into tin ingots. Then you had to convert them into cans. Then you had to add in a food composter. You had to add in a food processor, a fabricator. And then you had to get it into fertilizer. And so it was expensive to get it started. Having said all that, most people on the server, after thinking through this for a while, I realized they have it. And so what we've done is we are using the Tree Growth Accelerator. And initially it didn't work for me in a diamond farm because I had the accelerator one block above the plants. Now they are on the same block with the plants. And this has allowed a 9 by 9, and 9 blocks in each direction from the accelerator. So really a 19 by 19 area has the ability to become a diamond farm. Now in an Android's interface, you have the ability to add 52 commands, so that does limit the potential to how far it can go and how many it can impact. And in looking at about 6 different designs with the Android moving, this was the only one that I've been able to come up with that is efficient, productive, and is not resource draining. In other words, it goes down 9 blocks, passes its contents into the item transfer for the Android, comes back down 9, pulls fuel, goes back down 9, because for every 9 plants, going down and back was 36 commands. Then it was 2 to transfer items into the interface and a fuel and a pull, and then 4 to turn around. The Tree Growth Accelerator could only reach 9 blocks in any direction, so that maximized the capacity of the farm. As far as being able to put them all back to back to back to back to back, while it would have worked for the item transfer and I could have put hoppers underneath there, we didn't think we could do lava going in. Now, having said that, I probably could get away with having, because they are still dispensers by their vanilla nature, even though they're a lava transfer item, we might still be able to do that. For the purposes of today, because I wanted to use the network, they had to work this way. So it's every other one. So I want to see if I can get up here a little bit. They're up a little bit higher than I wanted. So we have the network set up. And again, I probably could have used hoppers underneath, hoppers above. But I wanted to do it all through the network this way. That way the androids could go back and forth nonstop. They'll hit this, pull fuel, turn, mine any plants that go below here, come around, hit this, and turn back around. So just to get this set up, I'm going to program an android real quick. I'll be right back, and we'll fire it up and see what happens. All right, guys, so we're back. So I do have this first android programmed, and it has started running the program that I've given to it. So what will happen is, as it harvests a diamond, the Tree Growth Accelerator will hit it once with bone meal. You'll see that little sparkling effect that it gives it. And then when the android is directly over it, it will harvest that diamond, replant it, and then it'll get hit again by the Tree Growth Accelerator. The one thing we don't know is the intention to only hit it once, or was it the intended to hit it until it grows? That we can't verify. Oh, it just blew. Oh, it did its thing and we missed it. Okay, well, hopefully we'll catch one here shortly. I want to be able to show you guys what it looks like when the Tree Growth Accelerator hits. It's just that purple animation, a little kind of magical appearance to it that it hits. With the Crop Accelerator, this is why we're thinking the Tree Growth Accelerator has a bug, because the Crop Accelerator continued until the plant was fully grown. Here, the Tree Growth Accelerator is only applying it once. Even though it's only applying once, the plant grows, I'm going to say, anywhere from 4 to 10 times faster than if you simply plant the plant down in grass and let it grow naturally on its own. Even if there's nothing to harvest, the android will continue to run its script back and forth. It'll go down, look to harvest anything, check to see if it needs fuel, comes back toward us. When it gets all the way down, anything that it has in its inventory, it's going to transfer into the interface, turn around, go back, and keep going. So we've got a diamond plant. So hopefully when this thing goes back the other way, we're going to see it harvest, and keep a close eye out for the little sparkly that the Tree Growth Accelerator gives off. Oh, that wasn't embarrassing. There we go. Okay, did you see it? We did have a few of the green. I misjudged based on where the android was. So you can see that it does hit it once, but it's still, much faster than what we've been dealing with. So diamond farms still do exist, and I've set this up to be able to run. This design will run 20 androids managing 9 crops each on one Tree Growth Accelerator. Now, if I knew for sure that the androids would not stop and break, I would put layer upon layer upon layer. There is a problem in SkyGrid. As those who've played on a server know and understand, there's a limited number of resources. There are some resources that are just very hard to get. To get to a diamond plant, one of the things you need is nether quartz ore. In the nether of SkyGrid, there is some, but it takes a lot of time to harvest. And so what I'm probably going to have to do is go in and platform a 100 by 100 area and then just start drilling down and grid clear in the nether to get it. I got to be careful of lava, and I'll get a bunch of other resources. But it takes 4 nether quartz ores along the way of everything else to make one diamond plant. I got real lucky. Somebody else on the server, I was able to purchase 128 diamond plants from, in addition to the 100 or so that I already had to get this farm put together, and I've still got about 64 left. Nether quartz ore is available on the server out of standard keys, but it is pretty rare. I went through 6 stacks of standard keys, and I got enough nether quartz ore to make 13 diamond plants. So it's not really a sustainable way to get a lot because it is all random. I could end up running 10 stacks of keys and not get any, or I could run 2 stacks and get a stack of nether quartz ore. So most likely, and it's not a materials benefit, so most likely I'm going to have to go into the nether and mine a whole lot in addition to redeeming the keys to make a farm that was as productive as 24 diamond plants being bone mealed nonstop. I'm going to have to probably quadruple this. Now, we could easily use a minecart rail system, having a lot of bone meal in your hand, and simply holding down right click. And instead of using dispensers, we could use a bunch of droppers that would place it on the ground. And as the minecart goes back and forth, it would pick up the bone meal and essentially keeping bone meal going nonstop. The problem with that is that's going to create server lag of firing so many dispensers nonstop. And so I don't really have a great solution for that. It's something that we're going to have to continue to look into. There is no real way to dispense a ton of bone meal in a short period of time without putting together some sort of redstone machinery, whether it's a clock or, if I put a bunch of activator rails and, alternate activator and powered activator, powered, going back and forth. And even then, it's going to create a little bit of lag. So, I don't want to create additional lag on a server that's not necessary. But having 64 bone meal in your hand isn't going to cut it either. So we need to look at other options. I'm going to let this run for a while. And we're going to see if the head will form or if the Android will stay in Android. But we'll come back and wrap up here in just a minute. So hey guys, we're back. It didn't take too long actually. After the first world got started, I wanted to try to speed up this process to show you and more importantly, the devs of Slimefun, that it's been well over 6 months and this issue still has not been addressed. Androids break, they turn into heads, and here we have video proof. I had these 3 rows running like the 2 that are on the right, and when you try to right click, you can see on the screen my MCMMO is kicking in to prove that I am right clicking, and nothing is coming up. The Android is completely busted, it is a head. I'll mine it as such. CS Core Labs head. It's broken. It will never be an Android again. And for those of you that know, who have spent any time in Slimefun, making programmable Androids is one of the most expensive material-wise and time-consuming processes. And now it's, it's time wasted. And this previously happened. I had 8 of those Androids set up. And before I could even get to the 9th one, the first one broke. By the time I got to the first one to check it out to figure out what had happened, a second one had broke. Within 5 minutes, 4 more had broke, and within 30 minutes of starting them all 8 Androids were heads. And so staff replaced them with brand new ones, and one of them is already broken. So while this diamond farm works about as good as you can possibly get it inside of Slimefun, even using all the extra the options with the Tree Growth Accelerator, the number one part that you need, being the Android, does not work, at least not the way it should. And so I've abandoned this farm until there's a major update to fix this problem. Like I said, we reported this over 6 months ago, and it still has not been fixed. So with that, we're going to wrap it up. Again, it'd be great to see what can happen in the future with this. I think it's a good plugin, a great idea. We just got to fix it. So as always, guys, when we say on grid and survival, you got to go boomer or you got to go home. We'll see you later.